Guess who's back? The boss is in the house. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode, because today we got a good episode with a long-term friend that has been in the community, has been doing it from way back. Also, the brother did not get in the underworld. So we're gonna have people who are gonna inspire you from all forms of life. So, on the TacoMontana show, I got the man, the community leader, the one, the only, the performing artist, the man. Tell him what your name is, homeboy.
Keith McDaniel.
Yeah, Keith McDaniel today on the TacoMontana show. And guess what? I told you. Guess who in the house? Brentwood in the house without a doubt. Yeah, how you love that on the TacoMontana show? Yeah, Keith, can you tell the TacoMontana viewers a little about yourself, such as where you were born, the neighborhood you lived in, and the schools you attended, you know, from elementary all the way to high school. Can you tell them that?
Gotcha. Well, of course, I was born in D.C., Northeast D.C.
Yeah.
Elementary school, Lucy D. Slow, which is now, I think, McLeod Bethune, I think.
Yeah.
Tabb Junior High School, which also has a different name now. And then, of course, McKinley Tech.
Yeah.
So in that area, you know, I grew up in Brentwood.
Right.
Brentwood, Montana, 12th Street.
Right.
That piece right there, that's the DMV for that section right there, Brentwood, Montana, 12th Street. But yeah, that's where I grew up.
Oh, that's what's up. So, Keith, could you tell the young viewers out there, because a lot of them might be thinking that maybe getting involved in streets, illegal activities is good. Tell the youth why you didn't get involved in the underworld. Tell them.
Well, one, there are a lot of opportunities out there, right?
Right.
And to be honest with you, when you work with young people today, it's entirely different, because what we see in the youth today and complain and criticize, to be honest, is not their fault.
Thank you.
If you look at their parents, you'll see that the understanding or the lack of understanding is greater there, with the parents' lack of knowledge. And then on top of that, for even some of the parents who were misguided by their parents. So when you drop down to the youth, they really acting in a capacity of where they are based on what they receive. Now, if you turn that around, if they had given them or instilled in them what is necessary for them to raise them properly, then you would see the other side of that, them performing in the manner in which they should. So as far as trying to go into that street like this, that, and the third, in today's time, I wouldn't recommend it. You know why? Because youth are looked at so bad that, right, you know what, it's no more the slap on the wrist. You know, when we were coming up, it started off as joyride. If you took somebody's car. Now it's carjacking. No matter how you take their car, you're gonna get hit with some extensive crimes that really you don't need, and you can't back out of it like you used to, because they charge you as an adult. So I would recommend that you stay away from that as best you can. But the other part of it is, I gotta be honest with you, a lot of I gotta use the word male, can't say man, a lot of our male counterparts are not in position to really give the youth what they need. Right. Because they're still trying to figure themselves out while masking to pretend like they got it together.
Correct.
And that's not how it is.
Yeah, so another thing I wanted you to tell them. So did you have any continuing education or training after high school? Because, you know, some of them might want to, you know, after they graduate, they might want to go into a program or something for whatever it is training wise. But did you do something, or even college?
Yeah, I got college. I got a bachelor's degree in business management. I specialize in international business and contract administration. So I do that. So that's what a part of what I do. Now, understand this, you know, because I don't want people to think that college is the only way, because it's not. Going to college don't mean you're smart, it just means you win. Right. So on top of that, you know, you might have some people who can't sit with the college idea. Right. But you can always take a trade, or you might have a business endeavor that you're really passionate about, that you want to get into and do, and you don't know the steps. Right. Then they should contact you, then we can put it together and kind of guide them along to, you know, connect the dots to get the missing pieces they need to complete their puzzle to get going on their personal journey. Right. So that's a huge part of it. right now. So
yeah.
it's more than just one thing. So college ain't always the thing. I know a lot of people that went to college and ain't nobody working in their field. It's not enough jobs. But I know a person who didn't have a high school education and is a millionaire. You know, now I'm not gonna list his business, but I can say that he is a multi-millionaire for over 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, because he utilized common sense. The one thing we got to remember is that, you know, the school system really wasn't designed to really help us. It was designed to cripple us. You understand what I'm saying? So when you understand that, then you understand that you have a huge responsibility yourself to do what you want to do. At the same time, you can have book sense and no common sense, and you still stupid.
Right.
But you can have common sense and no book sense and be a genius.
Exactly.
Right? See what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, we got that. So if you just coming in the building to the Taco Montana show and you are new, please subscribe, join the family. And family, you know how it is. Smash that like and also share this video. We're gonna get the message out. That's why on TacoMontanaTV, I got inspiring people who lived the life that I know personally, who were there. We were witnesses to the transformation of ourselves. You understand? So, Keith, can you tell the people on TacoMontanaTV, we want to try to tie a little bit, you know, give them a little bit on the connection between us as far as, can you tell them the neighborhood that you know I grew up in as well as yourself, and how did me and you come to be?
Right. Well, you grew up in Montana, I grew up in Brentwood.
Correct.
That's pretty much, you know, a sandwich.
Right.
It's right there together. You know, you got to go through one to get through the other and vice versa. So how we came to be was, as far as our common is, I'm going to put it like that.
Yes.
You had some aspiring things that you always was the type of person who wanted to give back and do something more. I'm going to give you a prime example. Let's take the ice cream truck. Right, the ice cream truck, but use the ice cream truck that had credit.
Yes, they gave everybody in the hood credit.
Yeah, everybody in the hood credit, so therefore, you know, they can get something today and pay when they said they was going to pay. And that's how it went, and that was a part of it. So really, at that time, if you think, let's talk on that for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look at some of the kids whose parents just didn't have it in that moment versus the kids' parents who could give it at the time.
Exactly.
Nobody was left out or teased because guess what? You had credit on the truck where everybody could get something.
Yeah.
And they worked it out with you how they worked it out.
Right.
And there was no issue. So now we can kind of downplay the excessive teasing because your mother don't have it, your father don't have it, and mine's have it, so here you are with nothing. Now everybody got it because we got this thing called credit on the ice cream truck. So that pretty much worked in a good way for a lot of reasons. And kids didn't have to hang around the ice cream truck hoping that somebody would buy them something. I just go up to the truck and Taco will give it to me, and then we'll pay them later.
Right. So
that was the plus with that, right?
Right.
So it's another big side of that piece too.
Right.
In the sense of us in our community, as far as how we need to come together and do things to work with each other to make sure that everybody come up, because it's enough for everybody. But we don't play fair. We don't act as if there is enough for everybody.
Right.
We want to get mine, and I want to go into a corner like a rat and look out to make sure you don't see what I have, and all I have is a piece. It's another huge piece out there.
Right.
But because I'm not thinking the piece that I have, I think is enough, I'm gonna take it and hide and keep it to myself.
Right.
And I'm gonna watch everybody else squander and scramble trying to figure out how to get it when we should be talking about this thing.
Right.
Because everything in the world, and I'm gonna say it like I mean it, follow it. I'm gonna use the word African American, even though I don't mean that, because we are indigenous to this country.
Indigenous.
You understand what I'm saying?
And they don't know it.
They're right. And the thing is, we have a bad problem in thinking about just ourselves individually, where collectively we can do a whole lot more if we just came together just to do that. So that's a huge situation for me there, that we got to start working together. Like, you're a business owner, I'm a business owner.
Correct.
We here talking right now. There's always a way to merge a business to make something better, and we draw our own attention. I'm wearing a Taco Montana shirt. You understand what I'm saying? What I need that for if I gotta do it? You understand what I'm saying? Why not invest in your label if that be the case? The fabric is better, it's a nice shirt, I can do the exact same thing with it, but we gotta get ourselves together in our self-esteem to not feel like if it's not a certain label that's out there,
Right.
then I'm nobody. How come we won't build this one to do the same thing?
Exactly.
But you follow?
I'm following.
So that's where I am with this.
Okay. Okay. So now, a word from our sponsors from Taco Montana. Look at us. We look established in this. You see how it is? This is like a boss. I'm saying you want to be like me and be a boss, empower yourself and love the people, and they're going to give back to you. So yeah, right back to where we were.
Right.
Yeah, so Keith, so tell the Taco Montana viewers and the 8.1 billion people on the planet.
Okay.
Yeah. Who or what inspired you to become this community person? You know, you created Enough is Enough, you know what I'm saying? And then you had other things that you created that helped the youth. So who inspired you, or was that something you thought of yourself to become?
You know who it is, my big brother Skip McDaniel, right?
Yeah.
He was a roving leader of Montana. That's how you come to know him.
Yeah.
Right? So in the work that he did, he came across an opportunity in Southeast where they were hiring, I want to say mentors, and it was paid, right? So he told me about it. He said, "Won't you go check this out?" It was right there on Minnesota and Pennsylvania Avenue. That building sit right adjacent to the car wash. So I went over there, I applied for it. I'm just 18 years old at the time. So nobody was really giving an 18-year-old job to mentor anybody unless you work volunteer work. But the lady hired me. So when she hired me, that kind of started it right there. But initially, it was my brother Skip who introduced me to it. And then I was always impressed by what he did of Montana, because I saw him every day. Like, he was at work, but it was like night time. You know, fun all day.
We loved him.
Exactly. So his thing was, you know, I would go to work, I play basketball, I do this, I do that. And I'm like, damn, you get paid to just hang out with your friends pretty much, right?
And empower the youth.
So that's what it was for me. So when he introduced me to it, I jumped. And I really saw something else in it that it took me years to get to, but that's who introduced me to my brother Skip.
Right, right. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, okay. Another thing, because like we've said to them that, you know, we've been friends and we've been following each other. So could you tell them about the teaching that you did and say the name of the school over there for a lot of the youth?
Well, let me go back to explain it all the way.
Yeah.
This was one of the first alternative schools.
Right.
And they call it alternative because that means the public schools ain't taking you no more.
Right.
So a nice terminology is it's an alternative to the public school system. That you can still go and get an education to not be in trouble for academic neglect.
Right.
So you'll go here to school rather than go there to school.
Correct.
So what happened, I worked in the capacity of I was a mental health specialist.
Okay.
Right? Mental health specialist over there. And I worked with a bunch of youth who had a bunch of issues going on. And the school was working on ways to, you know, help them to develop, and they needed to see real people doing real things who come from the same background as they, and let them know that, you know what, because you're here, it doesn't mean that you're out, right? So I decided with the owner of the school, at the time, the name of the school was George Washington College.
Yes.
And that was the school in the I want to say the Deanwood community.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it is.
But it was, the school charter was Buena Vista Academy.
Okay.
Right? So the owner of the school, I went to him and I said, hey, we should bring speakers in. I said, I know somebody who would be perfect. I was thinking about you.
Right.
He said, if you can get the person to come in, we'll slow down and then we'll interrupt class and let him come in and speak.
Right.
So I told you about it, right? Mm-hmm. This had to be like 94, 95 when we did this, right?
Right.
So we know what we do. You know, I'm 25, you about 27.
Right, yeah.
And I say, okay, so I hooked it up, right?
Right.
And you came. And what happened when you gave me your backdrop as far as who you were, things you were into versus what you're doing now. Right. They were all intrigued. Right. So it was a paradigm shift with a lot of them because most of them saw what you used to do one way. Right. And that was it. They never seen anybody come out of it to aspire to do other things that you were into and that you were doing. Right. So what happened when you talk, I watched them pay attention, I watched them listen, And the funny thing is, in class, nobody really participated, right? But here, everybody's asking questions to you, and they want to know what changed your mind to get you from where you were to where you are today.
Right.
And that was one of the things that was quite explosive at that time because they haven't seen it before.
Right.
So mind you, let's jump forward a little bit. The school had some issues going on.
Right.
But the guy who was over the school wanted me to get you to come back.
Right.
So what ended up happening, I think they had some accreditation issues going on.
Right.
And the students were showing up to school every day, and nobody really expected that.
Right.
They expect the students to like drop out and do work,
Right.
and then they end up losing the accreditation when they had to close.
Right.
And then I shifted over into something else. Again, follow my brother Skip.
Right.
He brought me into juvenile detention, and I did that for a lot of years, and so many other things. Where it just everywhere he guided me, it led me to where I am today.
Right.
In some kind of way, you know. So I definitely got to give him credit for that, because when that ended at the school,
Right.
I went to what was called Boys Village, which is really today called Cheltenham Youth Facility.
Okay.
I went there, and I was there for probably about 4 years or something like that. And I went into other things, and as you know, I started Enough is Enough mentor program.
Exactly.
I had the summer camp going, after school program going. I was located at 4th and 8th Street for a while.
Exactly.
And then I just continued to push it from there.
Right.
So oftentimes, but this is the caveat to it, a lot of the conversation that we was having separate,
Right.
down by the ice cream truck,
Exactly.
was one that just kind of gave us a vision as
Right.
far as what was needed, what was necessary, right? So in those conversations, I'm the type of person like this. If I think it, I can do it,
Right.
right? Mind you, I want to jump back on me a little bit.
Exactly.
You know, I was a teenage father.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I had my first child when she gave birth to my first child when I was 16.
Right.
Right? Now, I'm not going to tell it all because I'm doing a
Exactly.
book right now
Exactly.
myself. But by the time I was just before I turned 17, I had my second child, same female. My first two kids,
Right.
11 months apart.
Right.
Now, you know, my parents looking at me from back then like, nigga, you done lost your damn mind. You understand what I'm saying? You done lost your mind. We was able to kind of guide you with the first. We don't know how to look with the
You out
second.
there just shooting up the
See what I'm
city.
saying? Exactly. So, you know, so now I got a lot of adversity on me.
Right.
For people I'm associated with, their parents don't hang out with me, making babies
Exactly.
doing this. But I always had a head on my shoulders, right?
Exactly.
But the issue is, what people understand, now these adults, and I want people to understand that how adults can ruin children too, even though they don't live in your house. Just your perception of them and the things that you say and the way that you look at them.
And the way,
It can damage a situation. It can make them uncomfortable from coming to you.
Exactly.
Where they might have felt comfortable coming to you before you gave them that stank look, or you made that snide comment or
Right.
remark that they just ain't no good. I received a lot of that.
exactly.
But I can tell you this, when it was all said and done and I got, you know, on the right track, and for a few years, it caused me to struggle with like anger.
Right.
In the sense of, because I was being talked about. But I
Right.
thank them for it today, because those conversations that tell me pretty much you ain't gonna be shit
Right.
made me to be everything that I'm pushing to be today.
Right.
Because one thing for certain, you can talk about me.
Right.
I'm gonna prove you wrong every time.
Every time.
So, and that's my philosophy right there. So you said it, I'm angry and hurt that you said it, you know, but I'm gonna prove you wrong. So
Right.
the very thing you said I can't do, I'm gonna show it to you, hand it back. But the sad part was this. Half the ones talking shit about me ain't have shit going for themselves.
Most of them
You
don't.
understand what I'm saying? Your kids living like shit, and so are you. So I'm in a situation where, you know what? I'm gonna continue to push. I'm gonna take care of my kids. And one thing I can say, and I'm comfortable saying this on camera, because I can bring my kids, and my kids will tell you.
Right.
I took care of my kids. You
Exactly.
understand what I'm saying? And it was from my own work and sweat that I
Right.
provided,
Right.
whatever I provide. You understand? First two kids end up having custody of.
Right.
Those are two I'm talking about right now. I got more kids, but we ain't
Right.
going to that.
We gonna-
Buy the
yeah.
book when it come out.
Yeah.
But check it out. So I realized that adults would damage a kid through their own low self-esteem. You understand what I'm saying? And you got to call it low self-esteem because
Or low vibration.
Low vibration, that's even better. And I'm put it that way because for me, I figure when I see a child that's going through something, I'm emotionally stable enough to the point to get involved. Hey, what's going on? Right away, I'm gonna start putting you back together. You know, whatever the situation is, I'm emotionally stable enough to say, hey, you can work through that.
Right.
You know, what do you need? I'm gonna supply you with some resources. I'm gonna give you some direction. I'm gonna give you a few people you can talk to. Not only am I gonna do that, I'm gonna make the first step with you so you can see that it's possible.
Right.
Every now and then you can check in with me because I'm damn sure gonna check in with you to make sure you do it.
Right.
Now, if you choose not to do it, then that's just on you because that's your choice at that time. But I'm gonna do my part because I don't want nobody to have to go through some of the emotional, how can I say it? The emotional setback that I had to go through just listen to what other people's opinion of me was.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? So on that note, when I get involved with people, and to this day I still work with people. You know, I own an outpatient mental health clinic in Fort Washington, where I deal with therapy. We have PRP, which is like case management. So what we do is help to restabilize people, to get them on their feet, to get them out there. So I provide a bunch of wraparound services. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
At the same time, as far as write plays and this, that, and the third, and perhaps I have a play coming up in October 13th.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a little caveat for myself. This is my production.
Oh, we're gonna get into that.
So we're gonna hold right now. I'm gonna let you do what you do.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
I still work with people because that's my passion.
Right.
I've always been a fan of the underdog.
Right.
Meaning that, okay, it looked terrible for you right now. Pay them no mind. What do you want to do? Because it's all in here. You ain't got to look outside yourself. It's right here in your head right now. Whatever it is that you want to do, it's my job to help you pull it out. So once I help you bring it out, then you can do that.
Correct.
And that's just the way it goes. So, because at that moment, your self-esteem is a little bit low. And that's okay for right now. You ran into the right person. So now, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
We're going to do whatever it is that you say, because I don't have the answer for you. I can guide you and direct you into what you want to do, but you know what you see for yourself.
Right.
Tell me what that is, so I can help you to get into that space that you need to be in, so you can do what it is that you need to do. Too often, see, the school system has allowed people to believe that the answer is outside of you.
Right.
Case in point, you got people who know how to braid hair naturally going to school to learn them, not to learn to braid, to get a license. You already braid hair, you get a license for what? You understand what I'm saying? So now that disqualify you because you went to school, something you was already doing, and now because they give you a certificate based on what you've been doing and doing for a long time, now this is what makes you feel good?
Right.
You gotta know how to use stuff as a stepping stone to your advantage. Now if that's the only way you can make the money you make, say that. But don't give credit to a situation that ain't help you at all.
Right.
Case in point, I'm gonna say this about the church too. It's just like a person make a decision to say, you know what, I'm tired of using drugs. I don't want to use drugs no more. What you changed was your mindset. You go to the church later. The pastor take all the credit for what he know you was going through.
Right.
And make it seem like it had something to do with him and his church. It had nothing to do with him. It was your thinking that changed that. Stop giving the credit out to things that you've done on your own individually.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you want to attend church, that's fine. Go. But know what got you through. Now, you can use that as a continual support.
Right.
But understand this, it was your thinking that changed your mind, that said, you know what, I had enough, I'm not doing this no more. This is what it is. I'm gonna change my life, I'm gonna start going to church. I'm gonna surround myself with situations where I feel like where I wanna be. So that's what church is for at that point. You already changed it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. As always, on the Taco Montana show with the boss, I have inspiring individuals. Again, the man, the father, the leader, the role model. And now we're going to get into another he's also an entrepreneur, his own business. But now we're going to get into another segment of his life. And that's this performing arts. That's why I said the brother's constantly reinventing and involving himself. And you can too. Thumbs up this video. We giving y'all game with the boss, Taco Montana, Keith McDaniel. Tell him, where did this come from, man?
Well, one, it's always been there.
Okay.
Now, you know, we grew up around situations where we seen a lot.
Right.
One, we were actual kids who had friendships.
Right.
And life was more, it was about laughing more so than it was about thugging.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we always had a lot of comedic moments that when you saw somebody, you could just start laughing.
Right.
Right? So I've always had a side in me I had a great imagination.
Right.
But I would keep a lot to myself because I was just private like that. Like I still am today. Some people say, I ain't sneak. It just ain't none of your damn business until I decide to tell you. It ain't as simple as that. And it's not room for a discussion because I choose to keep my business to my damn self. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've been holding it for some years.
Right.
So one day, this what really got me. Tyler Perry got me. I'm like, this dude making this kind of money for doing this. I'm like, damn, I know how to do this.
Right.
So I looked at the first Medea he bought out.
Right.
I mean, you can't say anything bad about it.
Right.
You can't say nothing bad about it. And you can tell this boy having fun.
Right.
He done made a ton of damn money.
Billionaire.
To have the fun that he's having. And when this shit is over, which is because we watching him work right now.
Right.
And he's having a ball. But when he's done with this, he'll go home and kick back and do what the hell he's gonna do. While the rest of us are probably going to try to talk ourselves into going to work tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
He good. He ain't having no issue.
Right.
So on that note, I'm like, man, I'm about to get with some of this stuff.
Right.
So mind you, I work for Metro for him.
Correct.
Right. So I saw a lot of antics at Metro with dudes who got multiple women. You know what I'm saying? And their women know they're moving because 9 out of 10 chances that's how they met it.
Right.
Payday is Wednesday. So the subway stations are filled with side pieces. You understand what I'm saying? Who know you guys got paid and you done promised them this and promised that. Now you beefing with somebody, so you ain't keeping your playing field level.
Right.
You don't let one side get a little bit lower and the other side come up. The side that's up, there's one, the side that's low feeling it. Right?
Right.
And she know your routine. So she stand across the parking lot at the subway station, watch who stand on the bus. Now this how they would get them. Back in the day before they changed the bus, remember they have a seat right across from the driver's seat. Right? We just call that the hot seat. So when he dropped everybody off, the person that stayed in the hot seat, where he rolled around for his layover before he had to pull out again, she's still on the bus. Now you met her the same way. She done peeped that.
Right.
She done seen you drive around. So now she comes to the bus. You on there with your side piece. And a whole comedic act to me take place. So when I pull up my bus, I watch her watch you.
Right.
So I pull up on the side and she done came on the bus, you let on, you trying to play it off, trying to play it cool. She had, in this one situation, she had to do hanging out the bus with her.
Right.
So I pull up on the side, open the door, and I'm just watching the whole thing laughing.
Right.
I said, hey, what you doing over there, right? He's like, Keith, stop, man. Just look, go tell so-and-so so I can get her off the bus. I say, dude, I got to pull my run out, man. You got to handle that by yourself. So I got a lot of my material for this particular play called He Creeps,
Right.
which is this one right here,
Right.
at Bowie Center for Performing Arts, October 13th.
That's right. Promote the date, tell them the page, tell them how they'll be able to get in contact with you,
Right.
follow it, give them all promotion.
Right. So what you can do, you can go to Bowie Center for Performing Arts page, and you'll see He Creeps, the stage play on their website. The date of my play is October 13th. I'm doing one show this time. Last year I did 2 shows.
Right.
This time I'm doing one show. Starts at 4 o'clock. Tickets are reasonably priced. You get, floor seats are $45, balcony seats $35. You come to the door, it's $55. That's just the way it goes.
Right.
So I would encourage everybody, if you don't want to pay the additional $10, then go ahead and get them now. Tickets on sale as we speak. So that's He Creeps, the stage play, written by me. Got a good brother you may know too, named Gil Nelson. That's the regular.
Okay.
Right, and he does the work too.
Okay.
So he's directing the play this time. So we're gonna turn it out for real.
Right.
And it'd be good if people come out. We had a great show last time. If you type in He Creeps, they'll see the comments made about me.
Right.
As far as some of the articles that they put me in.
Right.
And for my first show last year, I got really good reviews. So that was a plus.
Wonderful.
but I got more material coming up, so I gotta stay tuned. So I'm working on a lot all at once, but it's all coming up.
Okay, so Keith, tell them social media wise how they can follow you, because I'm saying, you know, you get a lot of fans to follow you now because, you know, you have this theater in your life. You know what I'm saying? And on October 13th, we're going to get out there and support them. My birthday, October the 15th, so we're going to be in the house. You heard what I'm saying? All my Taco Montana viewers, make sure you come out that night because I'm going to be in the house.
There you go. In fact, you'll have a table in the vestibule where you can promote your book, your shirts, and whatever else you need to do. So by all means, come on out, support Taco, support the play. It's going to be a good time. And that's just the way it's gonna go. The website is for Facebook is He Creeps the Stage Play. For Instagram, it's just He Creeps. So if you go on either one, you'll see it. But if you forget Bowie Center for Performing Arts, that's off of 450 and 197.
That's right.
Right there. So you can definitely come out. You definitely get your tickets if you go to this website. Or you go to my personal page, which is Keith McDaniel, and just put that in, and then I have the link and stuff on my page. But you have the link on your page too. You go to Taco's page and put the link, hit the link, and it's gonna take you right to ticket sales.
Right. Yeah. Right. Okay. So there we have it. I mean, Keith, you know what I always end my segments with is you know, you as the interviewee telling the youth and the people something positive to inspire them, because we've come so far, you know, what we've done, and you know, life is at ease with us, and we're just giving back. So, you know, I want you to give a little words to the people out there for.
All right, so this is what I say to young people who make hungry decisions. And what I mean by hungry decision is you want a steak, but you'll settle for a bologna and cheese sandwich. Bologna and cheese gonna cure the hunger, but it still don't satisfy your quench for what you had for the steak, right? So in a hungry decision, that means you'll act out of desperation.
Right.
Just take that pause and breathe for a minute. I got a friend of mine named Kim who teaches deep breathing. She's a massage therapist and so forth. And one thing she always talks about is breathe. What I notice about breathing is this: when you all caught up and you frustrated and you just taking on some information you're not quite ready to deal with, your second thought don't come until you exhale that breath to let it out. Now some oxygen can get to your brain and you can make a decision.
Right.
Take a minute and then play the tape out. Ask yourself, with what you're doing, what will be the outcome? If it's not a good place, then it's something you definitely should not be doing. But if it's going to lead you down the road where you won't have any control, or worse, then you might want to turn away from that. So just take the time to breathe for a minute, right? Play the tape out. Ask yourself, where is it where I would like to be after this? If I should do what I'm thinking about doing, what will be the outcome? If it's not a good outcome, don't do it. And when I say good outcome, if it has to do with you going to jail or being a fatality in the street or becoming a statistic, ain't nothing good about that, right? But if you can just walk away and say, I'm gonna go home and let it die out, and tomorrow, you know what, I don't have the pressure of the police looking for me, I don't have this person looking for me, nobody's after me, then that's a good decision in that manner. But I'm gonna have to say this to the parents, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And parents gotta understand, because, you know, across the board, I think when you talk to a parent about their children who know they really didn't instill in their children what they should have given them, they personalize when you come to them to speak with their kids, because it's a reflection of exactly what they did not do for them.
Right.
You gotta get out of that. If you need some help, seek it. It's there for you. But you're gonna have to get honest, because nowadays they playing for keeps with kids.
Right.
And our kids suffer worse.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? It's not like Caucasian kids who might go to therapy and go to, instead of being put in a juvenile detention center,
right, or
sent to a resort to work out their issues,
right,
they lock our kids up and charge them as adults.
Correct.
So what we have to start doing, we have to really have those moments with our kids. And this is what I mean by that. You know, we are in the heart of summer right now.
Right.
And I've heard people say, you know, I don't have my money to take my child to the movies. I can't afford Six Flags. Okay, fine. Pack some sandwiches, get a frisbee, get a tennis ball, get whatever it is that you have access to. Take a blanket, go to a park. Park's got the track where you can walk on. They got tennis courts, they got football fields, they got baseball diamonds, they got basketball courts. Start a real relationship with your child. You know, take a book if you need to, but just don't do anything. And don't let the excuse be money. And because you don't have the money that based on what you want to do for your child. Your child lose out on being properly raised by you in a moment where it can still be done because the parks are free. It's always something you can do. And I'm telling people, don't take for granted those free parks because one day they might charge you to utilize the park. But take advantage of it. Get out there, spend time with your kid, get to know your kid. Let your child know who you are. Let them know how you feel. Those intimate moments are way better than the Six Flags and going to the movies and so forth and so on. You just have to make it out to be what you want to be because the teachable moment in that is the conversation that you will have as far as why I brought you here. Even to tell your child, you know what, I couldn't afford to take you to Six Flags, but I just wanted to spend time with you in some type of way, so that's why we're here. Right? You give your child that, your child will appreciate you that much.
Right.
Because you can give your child money to go to Six Flags and not give a damn. Because most times nowadays, people love their children to what they're able to do for them, but not what they're able to instill in them. That's the thing. Parents got to get involved and take this by the head and just be honest about the situation.
Right.
I'm having a hard time with my kids right now. A lot of people are. This generation right here is captivated by all the wrong ingredients to life. You understand what I'm saying? And they following it closely without having an idea. You understand? And I mean, suburban kids are just as bad as city kids.
Exactly.
And they don't have no connection to it at all.
Exactly.
So it's definitely something going on that needs to be discussed. Something needs to be done. Parents need to become actively involved with the school system to kind of help to deter a lot of issues taking place in school, to make it easier for the teachers to do what they have to do in the school to keep your child safe.
Right.
Because you go into school with little Ray in there and they go into school making threats. Believe this, the teacher's scared too.
Right.
They scared too.
Right.
So you gotta, find a way to do it. The school system have to find a way to make it work, to make it click, to make it stick in regards to getting the support that they need. You understand?
Right.
By calling the parents and, you have to do your part. Because you have a lot of kids who actually want to go to school.
Right.
And want to feel safe. I can say this, children do not feel safe at school. Because teachers turn a blind eye. Don't you think for a second that it's like when we went to school, teachers knew every damn thing about us. We ain't had no social nothing. We had no cell phone. They were paying attention. They were listening.
Wow.
Guess what? The classroom size ain't changing. And the teachers still sit in the same seat that our teachers sat in. They just turn it off because they want to come in and make my money. And not take anything away from the teachers because I respect all of them, right? But we got to change that culture where this is the place where the problems infuse, escalate, and grow.
Right.
And then it spill out into the community. But guess what? If we could have caught it right here, because this is where the kids are.
Right.
Because kids don't come outside no more like that, right? So this is where they are. This is where a lot of this is starting to ignite.
Right.
We have to have conversations.
Right.
You gotta have conversations.
Right.
So we, and it's just not just the teachers, it's the parents, it's the community as a whole. Everybody have to get involved because guess what? Let's say you are an older person with no children in the school system at all. You gotta walk down that street. So you need to give your input. You need to make sure the right things are in place for these kids to check into wherever they might have a situation. Because most of them really are crying out. I got almost 30 years of working with young people, right? And most of them will try to get to you to help them before they might turn the other way. But if there's, it's a saying that the porch light is on nobody's home. A lot of these adult age people that they go into, the porch light is on, but ain't nobody home. I can talk to you, you don't have nothing back for me. You give me something that's not gonna benefit me, that's not gonna help me, and then you just leave me to figure it out for myself.
Right.
We see what happens when they have to figure it out for themselves.
Right. Exactly.
And that's the answer.
Exactly.
Right.
Boom. As you know, you see it, you get in that game with the boss, Taco Montana. Also, get that gear on the real Taco Montana on IG and also Facebook. Yeah. Pick up a copy of the Taco Montana Clandestine Hustler by shopping Amazon. If you're just getting in, make sure you're new, hit the subscribe. Everybody else hit the like. Leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And we out of here. Until next time, Taco Montana,
All right.
the boss.